Yo, 1 2 1 2. Welcome to the show. This is a dual stream right here. We're both broadcasting to Modbap Modular YouTube and Beat Boy Tech Report for the typical Beatppl podcast. So this is, depending on where you're watching it at, this is Beatppl Podcast 78, but it's a special event, Modbap Modular product launch event. Today is 10/10, and we got special announcements. Some of you may already know, but yo, we're about to go ahead and drop the bomb on you. So I'm gonna hit you with this, and then we're gonna get started. Yo, people in the place to be.
Yo.
So this
What up?
This is a special occasion. I got a full stack in here. We got Ken, we got Upright, we got Synth Dog, we got Pitch Controller, and we got Travarsi. And not only is this, like I said, not only is this only episode 78 of Beatppl Podcast, but it also serves as the launch for Modbap Modular by Beatppl.
Yeah.
So all of us in this room been, definitely y'all been listening to me yap about this for long enough, but I'm glad it's finally come to where we're dropping this thing. And it looks like it's a pretty good reception so far on social media, and PR is going out today. So it should just be good times and all that kind of stuff. Let me just open it up, man. Anybody got any stuffs they want to shout out to the people, and let's get started. What's happening?
Yo, I guess I want to ask you, Corey, man, are you exhausted, man? This has been a long journey.
Very exhausted.
I'm surprised you're awake right now.
I am. As a matter of fact, my wife was up this morning monitoring because everything went live at 6. Actually, some stuff went live a little before 6 because I was up in the middle of the night getting my setup together for this, and realizing like, yo, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that, and I knew I wouldn't wake up at 6 to push things live. And even though things were automatically set for the website to go live and all these different things to go live, the fact of the matter is I like to be awake and on it just in case the automation don't happen. So what I ended up doing is I was just like, forget it. 4 a.m, I'm going live, and I just started doing everything I needed to do. So that way, when I went to sleep, I would at least be able to get a few hours of sleep before this happened. So yes, I am exhausted, and I got a healthy dose of coffee right
there. You go.
Yep.
So yeah, for those that don't know, the new module is called Performer. Let me show it to you. Boom. This is Performer, and no doubt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So we got a ton of videos out there already. I took the time to do just basic overview videos on some operational sort of features type stuff. We got some incredible just content, just in general. Shiro and Travarsi, excuse me. When you got your sister, your brothers around, you tend to call them by their government name. So I gotta watch out. I'll be calling all y'all by your first name.
I gotta get a little picture.
No doubt. So this is the Performer, and the we got a lot of great videos out there. If you go to modbap.com, whole lot of good videos. It's well over a dozen. It could be almost 2 dozen. I stopped counting, but Travarsi did a dope video, and she has some other stuff that she's shared on her social media. Voltage Controller, he did really dope videos. He's got a ton of stuff. Y'all ain't ready.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And then we got the manual that's done by Synth Dog, and I'm glad Synth Dog is on the show today. Thanks for coming by, man.
Great job.
Yeah,
Wow.
No probs. It's been a fantastic journey. I think it's amazing when you write something like that you think it's going to start with 2 or 3 pages because it's a modular device, and then we end up nearer to 30 or 40 because it just gets deeper and deeper the more you get to know it.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? When I read through the manual, what's dope about it is it gives you more information than you think. Like you're kind of saying there, it gives you more information that you think is really there. Because you did a great job when we kind of talked about signal flow, and the signal flow diagram is dope. And the thing about this module that I think people will come to learn is this is the effects. There was a lot of thought put into how can I make a simple interface, but a powerful module. You know what I mean? And so when you look at it, the arcade buttons, firstly, just because I kind of dig arcade buttons, and Div Kid is like, that English accent makes him feel at home.
At home.
Yeah, I got tea.
I'm literally gonna yell to my daughter to make me some tea right now.
Yeah, no joke.
What's up, Div Kid? Good to see you.
What up, Div Kid?
Hey,
Yeah. And so yeah, the thing about the interface, I wanted it to be simple, but fun and stuff. And so when I perform out, I use all kinds of performance effects, whether that's from the Force or the 404. And I was just thinking, like, why don't we have something like that in Eurorack? And I even use some other stuff like Korg, some other stuff, and even iPad stuff. But I thought it would be dope to have this in Eurorack format. So arcade buttons was a dope choice to go with. One, because it's made for pressing the crap out of those buttons, and it's big enough.
You know what? As I look at not to cut you off, but as I look at Performer, I see 4 buttons. But what I don't in my mind, it's like when you realize that each button, every time you press a button, like the 4 knobs correlate to each button. So every time each button has a separate 4 knobs. So it's crazy. It looks so simple on the surface, but when you get into it, it's bananas. It is really bananas.
And that's the thing.
Good way to say it, banana.
It's simple. Like it's simple, but it can get deep.
Yeah.
And so that's why we put a good button combo to go back to defaults.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Here and to highlight this and says in the manual, like, and this was a huge thing for me. I see Digi says reading the manual and the arcade buttons are rated at 10 million presses. That'll take a while to get to. So, and the other thing about those buttons is that they are clickless. That was a huge thing for me too, because I didn't want to hear or feel a click every time I press these buttons. So it's a really smooth sort of action.
Nice.
And I kind of think, this thing is going to have its own little calling cards. But before we get too far, I want to come back and kind of talk amongst us. But I want to play this video right quick. So let me go over here, and I'm gonna play this video. Let me do something. So this is the intro to the entire situation. Yo, this is Corey, aka B-Boy Tech, and today I'm bringing to you Modbap Modular as we launch our very first product and the brand overall. So our first product is called the Performer. You kind of see some of this. I'm sure you can hear me here. You kind of see as I hit a button, a different effect happens. And when I'm holding that tape stop button or whichever button, the 4 parameters correspond to that particular effect. So each effect has a different 4 parameters. Now just put on the compressor with ducking, and it's ducking with the clock. Adding delay. And so the Performer is a quad effects performance unit that has 4 performance effects and 2 processing effects. The 4 performance effects are delay, reverb, glitch, and tape stop. The processing effects are color with 4 presets and compressor with sidechain. So you may see somebody using it like this. Let's go, Tavarse. Or you may see someone using it like this. I loved it when he sent me this video. I was like, oh crap, this is dope.
That was my favorite demo so far. I love that one.
And you just may see someone using it like this. So here, even though you can't see the module, this was posted before we revealed the module, but I just like the sound of it. All the effects that you're hearing is, it's all performance. And so he's using other modules as control surfaces. So he's controlling it all.
Right.
So which is right. So, or you could see somebody using it like this. And for my ambient heads and people to do other types of music besides techno and Modbap, I felt it was important to get this in there because, you know, it doesn't have to be an aggressive module. It's a really great sounding delay and reverb, and the tape stop and the beat repeat glitch effect are dope additions to that style of music. At any rate, the performer is dope, it's fun, it's versatile. Pre-orders open today. Go check it out, modbap.com, modbapmodular.com. This is Corey from Modbap Modular. Peace.
Yo, I love what Autograph said. He said this and a 404, and I'm set. It's so true. So true.
Yep. That's the combo.
So true. Yep.
That's
so true.
That's what's up. Let's get Tavarse back in here. Word. So yeah, I wanted to play that, and yeah, I think that would be a dope combo too. Let me stop that because it's playing again. So yeah, I think it's a dope combo. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm literally using.
Yep.
In the demo vids. As you can see. So what I have going on right here is I basically got I got the MPC 2000 going through for drums. I got that going through the SP404 so I can run separate effects for that. But then for my eurorack stuff, I got obviously the performer. So that's the end of the chain. So I can repeat and glitch and tape stop and delay and reverb and, you know, do the waxes, the vinyl simulation sort of deal, all that stuff on all the melodic elements while having a separate output for the other joint. But I'm gonna tell you, once we get our production joints ready, I'm probably just gonna have 2 performers.
cut the SP404 loose, huh?
Yeah, no doubt. Part of what I did it to is because I wanted to be able to carry less stuff to jams. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
You know, you mentioned the arcade buttons. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I wanted to put a page in the back of the manual with just one button that said "Game Over" at the end.
Oh.
I like that.
Yeah, man. So let's see what else we got. What else we got? Should I let the people hear some of the delay and reverb or something?
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah,
I was just going to ask you. I didn't know if you want to move into that, but yeah, I'd love to hear.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let me go back. I got to switch my camera.
Yeah, one of the things that I would point out is just how much effort has gone into not just putting effects into it, but then fine-tuning them so that they sound in a way that makes sense for what the module and the brand is.
Absolutely.
It's not just about having, you know, 4 effects, really 5 6 effects. in one module.
Well, you got
you got compression, you've got color,
refresh,
and then you've got delay, glitch,
reverb,
and tape stop.
Yep.
But it's not just that those items are in there because these are the building blocks, but then further than that, it is, well, how can we make it sound exactly like the best version that we use and that we grab? Like when we're making our music, we want to grow and grab specific delays, specific sounds, specific curves, the way the vinyl stop works, the way the delay filter works, all of this stuff is very specific. The reverb is a very specific reverb, and it's just, you don't have to overthink it when you're using it. You're just like, oh, I can turn these knobs and it's all within the realm of where I want to be.
You know what? Just to cut in here real quick, Shiro is the king of like glitch and like hip hop and all that stuff. Like, so what is your like? How do you feel about performers as far as the stutter? Because I know you're a huge stutter guy, and you bring it. You know what I mean? So how do you feel about the stutter aspects of performer and the delay and the reverb and all that?
Well, the president of the samplers with speech impediments, we like to stutter a lot. But no, the thing I really love about it is the thing that's been missing in Euro with effects. One is the performance aspect, being able to like touch the sound immediately. It's a big thing for performance. It translates from like DJing and stuff like that or live drumming. But another thing is being able to touch multiple effects. In combination with multiple effects. That's like next level. So for me, that just gives me so much more possibilities, not only for performance, but also for sound design. You can like really get busy. Like I was throwing like samples from like vinyl chops through it, and it totally mangles them where they're like unrecognizable.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Shiro. I know you use the Octatrack, and you use stutter or glitch. It's been a while since I had an Octatrack. I had an Octatrack. So I know about like the stutter, but I can't remember exactly how it works. How would you compare the stutter on the Octatrack to performer? Like, is it like, talk about that for a bit? Like
it's very immediate. The thing that I like about performers, when you compare it to the Octatrack with the stutter, is a lot of the times I'm mapping the delays to the crossfader. So there's this travel from side A to side B. To interact with the sound, to go from off to on. But with performance, it's like an immediate button press.
Gotcha.
So it's like you can get really musical with it, and you don't have to like plan it out or like kind of get used to like the throw and the travel of a crossfader.
Gotcha. Okay,
so the timing is totally different. It's more rhythmic.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's actually one of the big things that once you get this in your rack, you can use it very rhythmically, and it kind of gives you an opportunity to create differently. It kind of inspires you in a different way than anything else. And although it is performance effects, like Shiro said, I do want to emphasize that most of the performance effects, you can only use one effect at a time, unless you got multiple performance effects. And I have known guys to have, hell, D Still might have 3 or 4 different performance effects joints at the same time. Sometimes I'll listen to his music and be like, dude, what you doing? He's like, oh, I got this and I got that and I got that. All going.
I keep 2 things, 2 chaos pads chained up at any given moment.
Right.
And with this, you can. Abnormal. Yeah. And I mean, that's why they did that chaos pad KP4, but even that's not as immediate as this. And the other thing I wanted to say about the glitch beat repeat type thing, is that not only can you glitch it in time like that, but you can flip forward playback or reverse playback independent of your speed, which is crazy. Like the things that you can do with it is really wild.
Yeah. Let me play something right quick. Just give us a little volume.
Yeah, sounds good.
So on the reverb, I'll just let you. And I cameras all over, so I gotta recheck them. Yeah.
So that's just the reverb.
Yep, that's just the reverb. And so space.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with the reverb.
Man, that reverb sounds so good.
Yeah.
Pre-delay. So for those who don't know, right? So I have the reverb, but the knobs, because I'm messing with reverb, the knobs are wet, dry, time, space, and then decay, and then pre-delay. So that's that. Then we're back to the regular sound. So I had it latched. I can throw it on momentarily.
And then you can chain that by just holding that down and tapping another.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you can engage others. So then I'll look at the delay. Really doing some horrible business. I'm not sure why I did it.
And one other quick thing about that I'd point out is that it accepts clock, so everything can stay in time. Everything is synced, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So basically,
point.
here's the thing that was just happening here. So with the delay on, the knobs are wet, dry.
Wet, dry.
Then it's time.
Okay.
Then there's feedback, and then the feedback can get really wild. And I got some time thing. That's the clock going through it. That's causing it to go really wild. Right? So, so you can,
we already got a beat. Man.
But the thing is, because the feedback can be so unruly, which is good. Sometimes we put this low pass filter in the feedback.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So it's a low pass to the right, but high pass to the left. So it's like a DJ style filter. And so when you throw the feedback up high, start to hit that filter, you get some really cool sounds out of it. And it's a Doppler style delay, so when I mess with the time, or when the time changes, it jumps and causes that sound. Right? And like Kim was saying, now I got the reverb on, and I can put them both on. So you hear both.
And you can latch them.
And you can latch them too. Yeah. Exactly. Shift to latch them.
And now show them a tape stop. And I should also point out that because of the camera that Corey's using, you're not necessarily seeing it 100% in real time. There's a little bit of an audio sync lag, but everything is instant. So like there's no lag when you press any buttons. There's no lag at all. There's no latency.
You know, we polarize on the performance of the buttons, but what I tend to do quite a lot is just latch the reverb and put the color on, and I absolutely love the color.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, color sounds so good.
Do that.
Yeah, I love latching that reverb too.
Before
Yeah.
I play the reverb, I'm just gonna let the colors be heard, right? So this is the vinyl. sim or the wax. It's our version of vinyl sim. It's called wax.
Man, that sounds so creamy. Love it.
When you add the reverb, and like a wax sim, a dusty reverb, and like I could literally lose time just listening to it.
Man.
Right? And then you can obviously add other effects or throw other effects. Oh, and so what I just did right there sounds kind of like a delay, but it's the beat repeat. So the beat repeat is kind of flexible in the fact that, you know, I can throw this beat repeat on, but each of the 4 performance effects has AR envelope, attack and release, right? So I have my envelope, the release set up for like a second or 2 on the beat repeat. So right now what you're hearing is the beat repeat, but when I let it go, it's gonna fade away because of the envelope that's on that effect. Right?
Why don't you show them? Why don't you show them how you set those envelopes real quick too? Because it's pretty nice.
So you hold shift on the effect. So now 1 is attack, now 2 is release when you're holding shift and the effect. So you take the release and bring it all the way down.
Hey Corey, we lost your image.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Come back off of that. So anyway, we'll come back to it. But yeah, it's really flexible. We'll come back to listening to some of that. Let me get my cameras right on this side.
Hey, while you're doing that, you want me to show a percussive thing?
Yes, please.
All right, so I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna grab my camera because I'm haphazard. I'm crazy, man. I'm crazy.
Yes,
right,
you are.
We
Yes,
know,
you are, Ken.
Let's see if I can do this. Let me move this up here so that you hear me. Woo!
Yeah.
So
Your
this is
camera's good now,
S2400 with Performer. All right, let me back this thing up. Pause. All right, let's see. Let's see if this works. It works close enough, right? You guys can see that?
Yeah, we can see that.
We can.
Oh, I'm a madman. All right, so check this out, right? Hopefully you guys will be able to hear it. So if you have a beat going, you can hear it, right? All right, so when you're doing this, you'll notice that I'm sending clock from the S2400 directly into it, and it's keeping everything in time. Like I don't have to fuss with it or anything. The camera rate makes it look like it's stuttering, but it's not stuttering.
Right.
It's
So
staying
it's a
steady.
straight clock. Yeah. Nice.
So
Nice.
the flip forward and backwards. Now watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can play with time and direction independently, and independently of the glitch time segment size. So you could do this. And now let's make it go backwards while I'm doing that. Now it's going backwards, and watch when I bring this down, and then I'll space it out. Right? So with that, you can do that completely independently. and you still have this. It's pretty impressive how you can just kind of mangle everything. You can get like carpet strong out of it.
That was one of my favorites right there, doing that.
Yeah.
Yep. It works well with tech, for sure.
And if I mute this, so you hear just drums, right? Now, check this out. With the color, you can get that instant grit. It's like instant. You don't have to mess with it. It's just
right quick. Ken, go
perfect.
through the 4 colors.
There you go.
Mr. Dope sound design too.
Say
I
that
love
again.
the comments in the chat right now.
What's that?
They're loving it. They're loving it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy.
Okay.
And along with that compressor, right? So like if I play this right now, just a drum beat, turn the compressor on, you can sidechain this as well. So, which is especially dope if you're, let's say you send all your melodic parts into here, and then you send your kick drum into here. You can sidechain it and get the ducking and all that good stuff.
And the thing, Ken, on this is there's 3 options on the side chain, which makes it even better.
Yeah,
Totally.
exactly. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just like you hear how instantly gritty it gets.
Oh, and I want to mention too with the color. We have classic, which is 12-bit, lo-fi, which is 8-bit.
8-bit. Yeah.
And then we have saturation, and then we have wax. So for everything except for saturation, they all have an envelope on them that they kind of fade away when the sound fades away. So it's just not running.
Hey Corey, which one was? So there's purple, there's blue, and there's what? Red.
Yeah.
Right?
So there's purple, which is classic. There's blue. That's the 8-bit lo-fi. Then there's saturation, which is the yellow, and then the last one, whatever that color is,
It's wax.
It's wax.
So yeah, just so people can hear it clean.
That's clean.
This is the
That's
8-bit.
an 8-bit. Yep.
That's saturation.
Saturation. Yep.
This is wax.
That's wax. Right. Or is that wax?
That last
This is classic. The last one was
this one right here is wax here,
Yeah. Okay.
and you can. Yeah, it's just really easy to get. Like, just like I said, like it's not about just having the effects there. Having the effects there would be cool. It's about having effects that make sense, you know?
Right, for that module together all together. And that's the key. Somebody was just saying, like, yo, the coloration alone. Yeah, bro, exactly. That's one of the things with this module that I thought needed to happen to really, like, this is a Modbap modular module, right? And so the idea is about that creation of the sound and that getting to the sound that we love as hip-hop producers, but in a eurorack context, you know what I mean? Or as a eurorack producer in a hip-hop context, however way you want to go with it. But like, I also realized that as I was thinking of this stuff and it's starting to come together, I start thinking like, yo, ambient artists are going to have fun with this, and techno artists are going to have fun with this. Like, that's really dope. No matter what kind of music you make,
It works good for dub and reggae as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, I can run just any old humdrum little melody through it. It could be 4 notes. And then
It's
by
so
the time
much
you
out.
finish messing with the effects and the coloration. And then when you add sidechain for ducking with the compressor, because it's a full-fledged compressor, and packed into that little 14 HP right there. As a matter of fact, you all need 2 of them.
No, you know what, Corey? It's over the past 2 or 3 months, I've heard so much good music through this thing and how it can completely transform your sound. It's just ridiculous. It's hard to pack all that into like a presentation like this. It's just it's crazy. Like the amount of dope stuff I've heard through this module is just ridiculous, man. It's crazy.
Word.
Yeah,
No doubt, man. Actually, let's go to another demo. Who should we do? We want to do Shiro? Let's go.
Yeah, let's do Shiro.
Well,
Yeah,
actually, no, let's do Shonda, and then we'll do Shiro. Excuse me. We're voltage controller and Travarsi.
Yeah. You're making it too personal, bro.
It's all good.
Let's see.
Family.
Demos
We get it.
and demo.
Yo, and so we had questions in there. Can you do all 4 effects at once?
Yep.
Yes, you can do all 4
Well,
effects
yeah, that's
at
the
once.
special thing, you guys. I was trying to make that point earlier, but I think we got off to something else. The thing that I wanted to do with this is any other performance effects I've ever used is you can only do 1 effect at a time. And that's always been kind of annoying because I want to do multiple effects at a time. So when I first started with this, I was working with my developer. I was like, yeah, let's at least be able to do 2. And when we got into it, we were like, we could do them all. They can all be turned on. So that turns this into something totally different because you could put it in your rack and it becomes like a channel strip of effects and just one thing. You know what I mean? And just so you know, and it's also the signal flow is in the manual. Thank you, Synth Dog. The signal flow goes like this. You get the signal in, then there's the processing effects, which are color processor and compressor. And then from there, it goes into the performance effects. And after the performance effects, it goes out. So you start to see what kind of stuff you could do. That's why it was important for the coloration to be before the effects, so that when you do turn on reverb or delay, you could have a lo-fi sort of delay or a lo-fi reverb or something like that. Like something that's not quite out there. You could patch it up to do that if you had a couple modules to do different things, but this is all in one. So yeah, and you can engage all of those things at the same time. So yo, I'm about to play this this demo here. It is by Travarsi.
We can't see it. Oh, there we go. That was dope.
My checkmate.
Yeah.
Plus or minus 2 octaves on that.
Man, Shonda is I'm sorry, Travarsi is a beast.
Here's my favorite part. Shout outs for setting up this dope tiny system too. Yeah. Modbap.com, y'all. Pre-orders open right now.
Yo, just that sounds so good. Nice.
Yo, Travarsi here. Yeah,
I
Modbap
love
Modular
this.
just released it. Performer. Oh yeah, it is so sick. I'm actually using it right now. So I'm gonna get back at it. I'll call you when I'm done. All right, take care, man. Peace.
With a bigger system.
And I should note that the videos that are up on the site give you full quality audio.
Yeah.
Because StreamYard is actually degrading the audio a bit. But yeah, go to the YouTube channel. And by the way, subscribe and support the YouTube channel so I can do customizations on it. So everybody that's on here, make sure you go to the Modbap Modular channel and subscribe. And all of that. That's hard. Full-fledged club on Shonda Country. Yo, I hope this illustrates too that like yo, it truly, yeah, this is Modbap Modular, but it truly don't matter what kind of music you make. This can enhance it and make it interactive and fun. That's right. We're gonna make a Street Fighter budget combo preset.
Well, the Easter egg that people have to figure out, will give you an infinite life.
Tell Div Kid I'm ready to take him on Street Fighter. Let's go.
Yo, I do want to say, you won't show up, Bryce, but that's besides the point. So one thing I do want to say about that manual is, man, people need to just go and download it and check it out because it's like absurdly good.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
absurdly good. The artwork, like the whole way it's all put together, it's pleasurable.
Yo, real quick, Shonda, can you talk about those patches? Okay, so first of all, you had the it was just performer. What was that the first little demo? You had a module. Was that just like triggering?
So I had the micro 1010 micro bit box.
Is that just samples?
Like samples in there? Yeah.
Okay.
So I loaded some of my samples, and then I had like a little mixer. And
Okay.
what I did was I took the out of the mixer and routed it right back through the effect box and back into the mixer.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to try to see what I could do with like a compact
absolutely
setup,
yeah.
see if I could get it cracking. And
Right.
I could.
For sure. And then on the second one, it was more of on the second demo, it was more of a full system. So can you talk about that a little bit? Like, what was that?
Yeah, for that, well, like I wanted to showcase two different styles of music that I like to play. So the first one was a little more like a house or tech house style. Mm-hmm. And then the second one, a little more like strip, like techno, which is like my wheelhouse. And one of the ways that I used the effect versus how I did with the first patch was I like to latch the reverb to kind of get that pumping and pump the kick and pump the hi-hats. And then, yeah, it was just fun. Like I had a lot of fun with it. Like I wanted to see what I could do playing other genres with it. And I feel like I really could. So
it's interesting what you said about the looping it out to the mixer, because I've got the new Cosmix mixer, and it's got an auxiliary output on it, so you can then just wind different channels to the auxiliary output. So I've got the performer on the auxiliary out, and then you just wind whichever channel you want to go to the performer and then back again. And that helps even more, I guess, for live performance than just routing it through patching.
Yeah.
Dope.
I like that. Yeah, I saw that mixer too. I had to scoop it up for that reason you just said.
Are you using the Cosmix? The Cosmix?
Yes. Yeah. So
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's what I want to pair this with, and I think that makes a good pairing to have those two together. So you can do like the aux. So you can have multiple things going in. You have mixer control over them, but you can kind of dial in performer effects to whatever you want. It's a dope pairing.
Yes. Yeah. So the mono channels, you've just got a send control, and then you just send that to the auxiliary, and then you can then send the stereo back into the Cosmix.
Dope.
Works really good.
That's what's up.
The sends become part of the performance, so that's pretty cool.
I'm going to show this because I want people to see, like,
it's a great manual.
Dog is a beast on manuals anyway, right? Yeah. So I'm happy to have had him on the team and being able to kind of add this in. So here's the little story I'm going to tie into that, right? So I was introduced to SynthDog by MSX Audio because he did the manuals for MSX Audio iOS apps.
Gotcha.
And so that's how we met. Now here's the thing, going back with the styling, the branding basically of all of this. If you all notice, if you look at those cables at the bottom, those colors are the colors for the brand of Modbap Modular. And if you look at the faceplate of the module, it kind of has somebody mentioned it earlier, like a 80s retro flavor.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I kind of wanted it to have that. And if you don't know by now, I have a whole line of modules that's like in the pipeline, and they all have that look. That's the brand and that's the look. And so I was going to pay somebody lots of money to do my panel designs for me so that it could be cohesive. Now, this is the roller coaster of the journey of doing modules, right? Because Bryce is probably laughing. He probably remembers me going back about this, like, yo, should I spend this money to get this person to do my panels? And when it all came down, Ken, the same way, everybody on here was telling me, like, no, like, well, at one point it was like, well, yeah, it looks good, the work looks good, but then it came down to like, well, why aren't you trying it? Like, we seen you design sites and covers and this thing and that thing. And so the crew encouraged me to put my nose down to the grindstone and do it myself. And when I started doing it, it kind of developed into this look and this feel, and it came together much better than I thought it would. So one note, believe in yourself, firstly. Trust yourself.
Yeah.
But so then what I did is, once I kind of designed the panel for the performer, I then went and decided to make a style sheet. And this style sheet had my choice of colors with the actual numbers that correspond to the colors, Pantone numbers or whatever they are. And I had that, so I got that on the style sheet and my fonts and everything. It's a literal style sheet so that you see what every module should correspond with. And then when I linked up with SynthDog and I gave him the style sheet, yo, brother took it all the way. I mean, he then went and took and made this manual that totally aligned with my style sheet and my panel design. And so the manual here. And so if you plan on buying the module, if you plan on getting it later, if you get it today or anytime before shipping, don't matter what you do. Well, that's concerned, go read this manual, because I also think it might inspire you and you'll be able to see how to incorporate it into your setup.
Absolutely. And I want to give SynthDog a shout out because, man, I had no idea he was writing the manual, right? So it is so good. It is so good. Like, I'm blown away. It's crazy. So I just wanted to say, yo, amazing job, bro. It's crazy, man.
One time, I want to get in on that too. Congratulations.
Hats off to you, man. Hats off. Yeah, you killed that, man. You killed that. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, no, he's done manuals for what? OPZ,
Electron stuff.
Oh wow.
He's done a lot of manuals for that kind of stuff. So definitely check this out.
Yeah, you killed it, man.
You may be on the fence. Go firstly look at the videos, check out all the stuff, but read the manual. Yeah. You'll find that this module is not as simple as it looks, but it is intuitive.
Yes.
But start to read through it, you'll be like, wow, yo, it's deep. I'm trying to get to the point where, so this is just this tells you with each effect what the 4 knobs are. Effects 1, the knobs are named Effects 1, Effects 2, Effects 3, Effects 4. So this tells you what each knob is and what they do. And then it also tells you, Shift Effects 1 is attack, Shift Effects 2 is a release for each of the 4 effects, so that you can kind of dial that in. Then I'm trying to get to the signal flow because I just think it's dope how he got that there.
Yeah, there you go, man. You killed it, SynthDog.
Yeah.
I tried to follow this mantra that's RTFM, making RTFM cool. And I think that's important. I think the art of gear manuals has disappeared. And I think that when you're a user, and I think we're all using the gear as much as being part of its kind of testing and development, I think when you're using it, you've got different styles and different ways of working, and sometimes you glance at a manual and you can do that, or sometimes you want to read it through cover to cover, and it tries to appeal to everybody that in their own way, rather than from the point of, this is the item, this is a button and it does X, this is a control and it does Y. This is all about trying to make it as easy as possible for people to get started and to use it as a reference if they forget things. So yeah, and the other thing as well is that when I met Corey, I think that I said this at the outset, that if I'm in, I'm in. there's no halfway out. It's like, I'm part of the brand. If I'm in, I'm in. And we went on this journey. We did the beginner's guide to eurorack modular. That's another epic venture. We did the quick reference guide that goes alongside it, and then even the box. Even the packaging, we got into the detail of that. So, I think the brand's really important, and I think that I picked up on it straight away. Corey said earlier that the module, the performer module, it's Modbap. That it fits the brand, and it does exactly. It does exactly. Exactly when you've got it in your hands that what it's part of. So it's been a pleasure to be part of the journey, and a fantastic group of guys and ladies in Travasi to kind of work with and share some ideas and thoughts, and it's been fun.
Yeah, it definitely has. And actually, I'm glad you mentioned too so I'm gonna go back to this here. So if you all go to modbap.com and you go to the support page, which, you know, that may be a page that people don't go to right off because nobody has the module. So nobody's thinking about what the support looks like. If you go to support page, you'll see this page that's on the screen right now. And when you scroll down, you see, you know, download the Performer User Manual and QRG, Quick Reference Guide. You scroll down again, you see download the Make, Shape, Move, Beginner's Guide to Modular. So that's another collaborative effort, right? With his style and his notes and, you know, my input and stuff. And we created this Make, Shape, Move ebook. The whole idea behind it, Make, Shape, Move. And I've taught classes with Aaron from Afrorack and Shiro and excuse me, Voltage Controller and Travarsi. And we've taught classes to kids in not South Central. What's it? South
East LA. We're in East LA.
East LA. Yep.
And one of the things that when we went to show the kids some stuff what to do, it was kind of strange because at first they just kind of looked at us like, do what?
Yeah, I remember that.
Right. And then so the way I explained it to them is like, hey, you're only going to do 3 things with synthesis. You're going to make sound, you're going to shape sound, and you're going to move sound. And that's been the way, right? And then, so we kind of teach it that way. Yep. And that's kind of been the way we approach it. And I find that it makes it easy for people to understand, oh, okay, then that's what. So anyway, we that was kind of some of the conversation that I had with SendDog, and so that's why this is called Make, Shape, Move. It's the beginner's guide to modular. So all you modular curious cats, and even some people that might have been into it for a little while, there's some real comprehensive information in here, and it's really informative. And I wish that there was this kind of resource out there when I was getting started. And Kim got into modular. This was before I got into modular. And Kim wrote an article that basically is an ebook because
it's only because I'm terrible at editing.
But the key is like this: a lot of information just wasn't out there back then, and so this is there. If you want this, you just come here, click, get it, and then this snazzy little piece pops out. You throw your email in there, and we'll email you the ebook.
You know, the funny thing about the beginner's guide is we started writing it, and I got this image of it being a beginner's guide. And every week, Corey would come back and go, now we need to add this. Can you just put that in? And I'm thinking, after a few weeks, I thought we're going to have to change this to the advanced user's guide. It's not going to be a beginner.
I know. I've been on that whole thing this whole time. I know that my developer is probably thinking the same thing because I'm like, no, pull that at this. It's not quite there yet. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a real dope journey. What else we got? Let's you know what? I wanted to address this because this did come up with the story. No, what's the story behind the module? Got design and build. Was it Maxwell? Hold on. There was this.
Yeah. So about the cables.
Yeah, well, yeah, reaching over the cables and
because this was something that we did have a conversation about early on, and I remember when the first prototype came, it was like, well, should we flip it? And then it was like, in some cases, it's going to go this way. So, well, it really that's the thing about modular is that really some people are going to have all their cables at the top. Some of them are going to have them at the bottom. It depends on how you have other modules aligned. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, it's like all the performance controls are on one side, all the CV and audio cables are on the other, and it's easy to stay pretty much out of the way. And then there's the tendrils, the right angle cables, and things of that nature. So you want to talk about that, Corey? Want to talk about these cables?
Yeah, actually, let me show these.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about that yet, but we're going to talk about it.
Let's go here.
There you go.
So
bring it over towards your face. There it is.
Towards the face. So these are, as you can see, that's the brand colors again, right? So I'm actually will be selling these as well, and part of it is because of the way, you know, you could use these and kind of stay out of the way. And I'd really using these on the input and output. That way you can get to the buttons a little more easy. So if you use right angle cables, it'll make it easier. I found it easy because I'm used to using devices that are set up this way. And when you go to say, I want a device like this in eurorack, there was a big consideration about how the cables were, or where the inputs and outputs were interacting with the buttons. So I thought of it all kinds of ways. I literally on the designs, I've moved the buttons in the middle, the buttons to the top, the knobs to the bottom, the outputs at the top. And ultimately what it came down to is I'm used to using the 404 and other similar devices where the knobs are at the top. So I'm really kind of converting my live performance to a eurorack sort of stance. So what I found is if you patch in a certain way, or depends on how you organize your cables, it could work out pretty well. But I do know that there's probably going to be people that flip this thing. And I guess I think it really comes down to what you like. But now that we have these kinds of cables, these right angle cables that are out there, and initially these would be the 9-inch ones, but I'll have longer ones too. And you could get these, and I think that'll help solve that, because it'll bring down the overhead of the cables, or so you can reach in a little better. But honestly, in eurorack, when don't you have to reach into cables? I think it's a matter of how you end up dealing with.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And I should just clarify. So if you missed it earlier, I was showing a demo where I had it with the 2400, and I just have it set up in its own standalone case right now. And I'm using, I've got these really long cables that I was plugging into it and whatnot. But one thing I wanted to bring up is just the fact that it works with line level as well as modular level just fine. And in the case that I was using it with earlier, if you watch that demo, there's nothing else in between. I'm literally going from the S2400 into and out of the performer, and then just back to my patch bay, which goes to my audio interface. There's nothing in between. You can it'll handle your levels, no problem.
Yeah, that's really dope when you think about it, because you can use it as a standalone tabletop. You know what I mean?
And it's only 50 mAh. So I'm in that case that I was using, I was powering it from a USB battery.
Yep. Dope. So and I just want to mention that the processor is a Daisy processor. So that's Electrosmith Daisy processor. So when updates come, you'll use the Electrosmith programmer to update the device. And so that's what it was built on. That's the platform it was built on, for anybody that was curious or anything. So, on that note, I want to get into the other use case is being able to modulate all these things with CV and gate.
Good point.
So on that note, I'm going to go back to YouTube, and I'm going to play voltage controllers demo. Once I get it here we go. Let's go again. So just so you know, he's actually modulating. There's 4 gate inputs, there's 4 CV inputs. So he's actually turning the effects on and off with the gates via voltage. And then he's modulating 2 of the parameters with CV inputs. And so he's totally automating and modulating his module.
Man, that sounds so dope.
Yes.
That's so cool. Dude, this has to be a release.
Dope.
So sick.
Sure.
Thank you.
Back to the spaceman. I'm just gonna say it. The spaceman is the real hero. All right, there it goes. Yo, Shiro, that was dope, man. Talk to us about those patches. It was basically 3 patches. Talk to us about, the fact is, I think every time I mention it to somebody, the fact that you're actually sort of automating via modulation, gate, and CV, that whole performance. It's almost like you're doing a separate sequence of tracks to throw that on. So talk to us a little bit about how you patched that up.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to explore. Given the name voltage controller, I wanted to see how I can control it, with voltage. Like it has immediate, arcade button makes it immediate, but I wanted to see what it did under voltage control. So it was really dope to be able to sequence the effects, which actually can be used as like another form of song making or like carving out different sounds and really exploring the melodic nature and sometimes just like the stutters and the structure of rhythm. You can like break it up and get some like more unpredictable results. But because it's sequenced, it's like you can still have a rhythm and have a pattern, but it's like not so repetitive. And that was one of the things that I really wanted to achieve with doing Modbap was moving out of like repetition, and explore repetition, but still have varying surprises within that structure. So that's what I really love about the module, being able to do that with voltage control, like effects.
Dope. Yeah, man, I appreciate you doing that too. That actually, and that's why in the intro video I said, hey, you might see somebody using it like this, or you might see somebody using it like this, because it's all use cases. You know what I mean? It's a flexible enough module that, for me, I may all the time touch the buttons and manually engage everything. For others, it's going to be strictly about CV. Voltage control and CV. You know what I mean? And
the thing is, you can do both. Like, because even when it's under voltage control, you can still, like, a lot of the times I was like not patching the tape stop. So that was something I was manually interacting with, was the tape stop, but everything else was under voltage control. But then you can also touch the things that are under voltage control also, just to get even more like crazy and deep with it. So you can have like some immediate stutters, but then let it go, and then it kind of goes back into like the sequence thing that you set up. So it gives you a lot of flexibility for performance.
one of the things that you can do with it is you can actually reject control voltage to specific knobs for specific effects.
Reject.
Right?
Wait,
so
wait,
one
wait,
of the
wait,
really
wait,
cool
wait,
things.
wait, wait. What do you mean reject?
Yep.
Wait.
So
Back up,
reject is kind of like how you are when it's time to play games and you don't show up. Sorry, it's inside joke.
No. Yeah.
So let me show you what I mean.
No, so
targeting.
basically you can stop. You can send your CV. So all 4 knobs control different parameters on each effect. But you can tell it to not send control voltage to specific knobs for specific effects. That way, if you want to be warping, let's say you want to be warping delay time, but you don't want to have that mess with the tape stop effect, you can do that.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay,
so I'm gonna go into it so I can kind of show you just a little bit. So right now, if I hold down this button, the color button, there's a feature on here called CV targeting. And this is definitely something. This is why you got to have beta testers and got to have a good community of people throwing information out there, how use cases and stuff. So the thing about Performer is it can get crazy. It can be really controlled. But one of the things that it can get crazy is you want to be able, if you have CV going into it, it's a very simple interface. So if you have CV going into it, it's going for these knobs, effects 1, effects 2, effects 3, effects 4. That goes for all 4 of the, if I'm affecting effect knob 2, then I'm or 1. Effects 1 is wet dry for delay. When I'm engaging reverb, that's wet dry for reverb. When I'm engaging tape stop, effects 1 is wet dry for tape stop, and it's a wet dry for beat repeat.
Glitch.
So if I put glitch. So if I put CV in here, it's going to do whatever you're telling CV to do to effects knob 1, right? And it doesn't know which one. It's just like it's just going to send that signal to all of the effects. So if I only want to affect wet dry on delay, then I have CV targeting that you could do, and that goes for any. You throw 4 CV into the 4 CV inputs, they correspond to these 4 knobs, but it's going to happen for each of the 16 parameters, right? Because 4 effects times 4 parameters. But if you want to say, yo, when I send CV, little Mr. Performer, only send that CV to the delay effect, then you can, the way you do that is just by holding this button. And then you see that all of the effects are lit up. If you only wanted to your CV to affect delay, then you just turn those off while holding this button. You turn everything off. Now CV knows that it.
I get it. Got you. So right. Got you. Okay.
Yeah, and that's really dope because being control voltage, you can do some really interesting patching. Like if you throw audio into the delay time CV, you get some really cool warbles, and the way that the delay was structured is to do that kind of tapey delay, stretching and moving of audio in that very liquid kind of way. So when you start throwing audio into that signal path, you get some really cool effects.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's the thing there's a lot of the effects here. I want to kind of emphasize what Ken emphasized before. The effects here are not just delay for the sake of delay, or reverb for the sake of reverb. It's not arbitrary that tape stop is there. It's not arbitrary that this glitch is there, which I often call beat repeat, but I didn't really want to call beat repeat for some reason because I didn't want to give
because it does more than beat repeat.
Yeah, it does more than beat repeat, right? So at any rate, but it can do beat repeat, but it can do so much more. So the thing about it is that I really drilled down into these effects and wanted to make them what would make sense for the sound and for it to have a sound of its own and sort of a behavior, like, not only be out of the branding, this is a Modbap Modular module, but also with the sound and the aesthetic from that sort of beat makers sort of live performance DJ style sort of thing, right? But it's effectively a good use of effects in any style or any genre. So that was an interesting line to toe, but it definitely has its own character, and I think that's going to be the thing that people will find once they start getting it in their hands.
Yep, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
We had a way before this module was even really being prototyped. Like I'm talking way back, years back even. We used to talk about this sort of thing a lot. and we had we're on Marco Polo all together. We're all close friends, and we talk daily, and we've had conversations so often about all the different things that we want a module to do, or hey, I wish I could do this inside my module, my modular. I do this, with my MPC. I do this with, my force. I do this with this. I do this with that. And we would just have conversation after conversation of like, man, like these are the effects that we always go back to. These are and that conversation kept spiraling. When Corey started the initial mock-up of, of the front panel, it kind of came together and it just made sense. It was like, nope, this has to happen. Like there's no doubting on this. Like this has to happen.
But some of the details, what seems small details actually make a big impact. So like the 3 options on the compressor, on the side chain of the compressor, being able to use audio or the clock, being able to just touch the tap button when it's got a clock connected, just to throw it off for a few seconds or something. Even physically, the controls where there's there is a ridge on the FX controls, so you know where you are when you're performing. I think the attention to detail is just fantastic, and I think it can easily be overlooked, but when you're using it, it becomes really powerful and valuable.
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt, Simthar. That's a good point too, because that's the other thing. It's not like this interface is given. I wanted it to be as intuitive from touch as it would be visually. You know what I mean? And as much as this module does, you could very well throw it in a box and put a screen and do a bunch of stuff, and you know what I mean? But I felt like it needed to be very simple, but powerful. So that's part of the thing. And I think it does some things that are very particular. Maybe somebody could say, well, yo, I got a delay, I got a reverb. I don't use tape stop. And you know what I mean? Whatever the case. But I think once you start using, like, for instance, look at how Voltage Controller used it and how Shonda used it, and in those different styles of music, and you get to use that stuff. But the attention to the detail, like you can see the tempo light flashing. You know what I mean? So you know what tempo you're at. You have tap tempo. You could throw a clock in there. I really love the selectable the selectable side chain, because it's a side chain input in there, right? So you could throw whatever side chain or whatever signal into the side chain and get the ducking for the compressor. But the fact, like Simthar said, that you could scroll through what you want to activate sidechain, because it can be activated by default just with nothing in anything else, just by audio in. And there's a just like you scroll through the color presets with the different colors, you can scroll through which ducking you want to do. You could do it from audio in. You can sidechain from sidechain input. You can sidechain from clock input and tap tempo. And I think that's really, really unique, a really unique feature, because when I was using it before we implemented that, I was kind of tapping tempo and then something was weird. And I was like, well, I don't want to throw anything. Firstly, I had limited cables. I'd used up all my modulation. And I was like, well, I got nothing else to put into sidechain. So, but I wanted it to go at a different rate. And then sometimes when you're performing, it makes it really flexible that you can all of a sudden tap a different tempo out and get a different side chain out of it, a different ducking, so that it ducks at a different time. And that's those little details, like you said, like it seems little, but that's huge. It's really huge.
Yep, definitely.
So, see, I want to play another. So we had 1 hour and 18 minutes, but look, I still want to play another demo, because I think Benny did a really dope demo of this, and you get a chance to see how modulating and manually interacting with the effects makes a world of difference. So let me pull that up. Give me 1 second here. I gotta find it on YouTube. And just a reminder, the pre-orders are open right now, so you can go on to modbap.com and pre-order it. You can, and also be sure to go to the Modbap Modular YouTube channel and subscribe, because we need to get to 100 subscribers. This is the first day that is live, and sort of allow us to do some customizations on there. So let's see. Here we go. This is Arbeni with an ambient demo. And you can really get a sense of how good the delay and reverb and stuff sounds here. And he's using the color in a very creative way. So now he's throwing a gate into gate input 3. That's for glitch. So that's why you're seeing glitch go on and off. And he also has it in for reverb, upper right. A different gate for both of those. Nice scrolling through color and turning them off and on, and letting the delay and stuff catch on. That's something I've never even thought to do until I'm like, oh, that's dope. Now the glitch is in reverse.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Space
Fantastic.
Coast.
Very dope.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that kind of shows you how versatile the effects are, just the usage of it. Like, so we showed, how you can manually engage by momentarily engaging effects, one or simultaneously, all of them, or any combination, how you can latch them, use them that way, how you can throw voltage and CV to them and use it that way, then capping it off with being able to do all of that. Like use individual, any combination, momentarily engage, latching, and CV and gates. So yeah, it's a monster, man.
Absolutely.
So go pre-order it now.
Pre-order, that's right.
Yeah.
So much content to come. Can we just say that? Like,
Yeah,
there's
for real.
just-
Let's turn
Yep.
content.
need to let people know that. Yeah, because there's so much stuff coming.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And also, Div Kit has one in his hands, and you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with it. And in time, we'll see that. So appreciate you, Div Kid. Appreciate everybody that's been supporting this journey. And thanks everybody on the show here. This is crew. This is squad. And there's so much more to come from Modbap Modular. I got
I want to tell everyone that before everyone says goodbye, Faders Up is next week, and you're my guest for Faders Up. So we'll get into a little bit. We'll talk about some other things along with your being an artist and all that sort of stuff.
Hat
and then,
selection.
Of course, everyone, you know, Corey and I have Gear Dive Jam, so you can only guess what we're going to be doing for Gear Dive Jam, our next episode. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. Yep.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody.
Man, well, I just want to say, Corey, congratulations, man. This has been a huge. I've seen everything that you've been going through, and this has been a labor of love, bro. And I know you've put all of your passion and, bro, nobody knows like Squad.
That's right.
Hours and hours that you put into this. Sleepless nights, trying to get things right on all aspects, bro. So I just want to say, officially, shout out to you, bro. Hats off, man. You did this, bro. Congratulations, man.
First official Modbap instrument. Like, wow.
Yeah, huge shout out, bro.
To give birth to a genre is one thing, but then to start developing instruments in the genre that we gave birth to. Like,
absolutely, man.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
It's been a long time coming, man. I think this only makes sense. And you know, one of the things I do want to say before we get out of here is I know there's you know, it's just dope to be able to see this come to life and to be able to see diversity being injected into the music and to see these two worlds collide, hip hop and eurorack. And because I feel just as much a part of, you know, the eurorack and synth community as I do as part of the hip hop and beat maker community. Absolutely. And so to see these worlds collide, this is going to be a bridge for those kinds of things. And also, I heard Will Smith say back in the day, he's like, yo, we may have had some of the greatest golf players in the world in Philly, but wasn't no damn golf clubs in Philly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So what I'm saying with that is that this is a very diverse group, and I'd like to be able to think that there's people, or younger people, or even people that are peers that might be inspired and say like, yo, if I dream it, I can do it. If I can see it, I can make it. You know what I mean? So that's just what's up. That's part of what this journey means to me. And I can't wait to, like, I'm already ready to start working on my next 2 modules. I got about 5 or 6 in the pipeline. So let's go.
Yep. Here we go. Yeah, here we go.
All right, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to subscribe, like, be sure to go to modbap.com right now and
yes, check out the modbap.com site. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Just go there and scroll around. A lot of so much content.
Mind blowing.
Yeah. That's also how I lost some sleep some nights.
Last night.
I went to sleep this morning, took a nap. So the thing about this, what I found out with Modbap Modular, yo, I've used absolutely every single skill that I've ever learned in my entire whole damn life. Whether it's me having an electronics degree and having to remember that shit that happened in the 90s, whether it's, you know what I mean? I mean, panel design, branding, and graphic design, web development, you know what I mean? Being performing, you know what I mean? Like every single project management, like really, for real, I got a project management degree, and I've used it more on this project than I've done at work. So I'm just saying, like, make no mistakes. Every single thing that you learn on your way to and through your journey, at some point, it's going to be everything that you need to do whatever it is you're passionate about.
Right.
And it's a testament to show this module was 100% blood, sweat, and tears on your part.
No doubt, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. So yeah, on that note, we're gonna get out of here. It's been an hour and a half, and so yeah, this will be a good reference point for people to want to look back. I appreciate everybody that chimed in, that's in the chats, and I appreciate everybody that's already pre-ordered. I literally opened the site, and within 30 minutes, I sold a couple already. So
Nice.
it's off to a good
stuff.
start.
Good stuff. Yep.
Be sure to pre-order if you want a part of that first batch. All right. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
I love y'all.